Hi guys, we're back on PlayStation again, and today we are continuing with Stanley Parable. Now, I shall get on with two of them,
What could it
with
mean?
two endings, but
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
there was
Perhaps he had
another one that
simply
I
missed
could
a
have
memo.
gotten, but I forgot how to get it. That's sad. Oh well. I'll go the right way this time. Because I'm getting the good ending first.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So I'm going to listen to the narrator.
Yet
There's
there
no
was not a
warning.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Anyways, that won't do anything, but oh well.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
The next
upstairs to
ending
his
is
boss's
down
office.
here, just so you know. Ooh, can I go through this door? No, I can't. Oh. Hey, I'm in. I'm in. No, I'm not. I'm in. No, I'm not. No, I'm in. Why did that just shut behind me? Help! Let me out! Help! It won't let me.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I want to press 1, 2, 3. What's the controls again, Mom?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was
2845. Okay, I got it.
2845.
2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
No, there's nothing there. Okay. Hello. I'm going on live streaming. Yeah. Time to dance. I'm gonna dance.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Because Stanley must
Stanley
know.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
That's where I died, so I'm not going through there. Ooh, I'm gonna press a button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's go!
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally
What?
monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
How?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh no!
No.
I've
He
accepted
refused
blindly.
to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own
can't.
life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
No!
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How? How? Oh. What? I'm a duck just in case. No, wait, no, wait, no, wait, no.
And when at last he found the source,
Oops. I did it too quick.
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Yes.
Yes. He had won.
What's
He
that?
had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let me out! Let me out!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
Much better.
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
I think I know
And
what
Stanley
the third ending
was
is,
happy.
actually, guys. I think I remember now. I need to go the wrong way, too. The end is never. Okay, let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Me?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This time I'm gonna go on the left
When
again.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm just going to
Yet there was
speedrun
not a
this
single
part
person here
because I
either.
want to
Feeling a wave of
do the
disbelief,
ending.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might come into a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's down here?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley
Am I going in a loop?
he began to make
Yeah, I'm going in a
strange
loop.
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
That is
Why did
true.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley
This
said
is
to
weird.
himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh,
Yeah.
what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Yay!
He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
What does lucid mean? I don't know.
He imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
True.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts,
What?
he thought.
That doesn't
And
make
while he
any
thought
sense,
it
but
all
okay.
very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Maybe.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
Yeah,
He
I'm
would
going
prove
in
that
circles
he was
now.
in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I
Why?
want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Are you sure about that, mate?
I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh,
And
it's
although she would
Stanley.
soon turn to go
That's
call
who
for
it
an
is.
ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Yeah.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, great. That's another ending done. One more. And I'm just gonna speed run again.
Gone.
And
What
go
could it
the
mean?
wrong way too.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was
Yep,
not
I'm
the
going
correct
to-
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm going the wrong way. I think this is the last ending, guys. I actually think it is.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now,
That's funny.
see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Buttons. Oh, it's not letting me click it. How sad. Oh well. Anyways, let's go down here. What's this place? I don't get it. No, this is too confusing. Any buttons I can press? Voice and answer guy, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, here.
No,
What?
no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
No.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from
No,
the beginning.
we're not doing that.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
No,
From the
don't
top.
think so. Ah. Huh? Yeah, no, that's so confusing. But anyways, guys, I have to say bye there because the video might now be too long for the PlayStation, so yeah. But if you want me to, I shall continue more later. Alright, bye! See you later! Don't forget to subscribe and like!